Welcome to the Real Estate Fight Club, a podcast for agents where you'll witness a battle of opinions about topics affecting your real estate business. Now, always in your corner, here are your hosts, Jen Mertland and Monica Weekly.
Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Fight Club. What is up, Jay Mert?
Monica, how are you today?
If I were any better, I'd be twins.
Somebody else said that to me today. You're literally the second person.
What?
What does that even mean?
That just means there'd be double of me if I were any better. I mean, it would just be, it's amazing. My mom usually says I'm better than I deserve. I think she gets that from Ramsey or somebody like that.
No, you deserve to be even better.
That's right. That's right. All right. So how's life? Anything interesting going on in your world?
I put an offer in on another house.
Starting to collect them, are you?
Yes. Not starting. I'm finishing my collection. I'll be at my goal when this one goes through.
Oh, you will? Okay. Because at one point you sold everything, right? And
Not
then...
everything. I just sold the ones that gave me a headache.
Oh, nice.
So now I only collect ones that don't give me a headache.
Oh, that's beautiful. How do you know up front that they're not going to give you headaches?
I look at the tenant base.
Okay.
So for me, I'm willing to take like a little bit lesser return in exchange for less labor on my end.
Wisdom, investing wisdom by Jim Mertland.
Don't give yourself a headache.
Another podcast for another day. All right. Thank you guys for joining another episode of Real Estate Fight Club. We always appreciate that you're here. And today, Jen and I are going to duke it out over this question. Should you, as an agent, charge a transaction fee for your client? Now, before we duke this out, or to your client, before we duke out on this or whatever we're doing, punching each other in the face on this.
Wow.
Will you define what we're talking about here?
A transaction fee?
Yeah.
Sure. It's like additional commission.
Okay.
But it's
so
like
above and beyond
fee.
And what is the average transaction fee that you're seeing these days? If
I'm seeing anywhere from maybe like 200 to 600.
Okay. Wow. A $600 transaction fee. Huh?
Some people charge more.
I love it.
Some brokerages charge.
Yes. So this is the something to talk about. There are brokerages. I know one in particular here in Cincinnati that requires their agents to charge it.
But then they don't give their agents any of it.
I know.
And I'm like,
the agents are none too pleased. Usually the ones I'm talking to anyway.
Yeah. And what if the client doesn't want to pay it? Do they get charged it?
I'm assuming the agent eats it. I think the agent eats it a lot of times anyway, because they don't feel comfortable passing it along.
Well, please call us at, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, we do not have to charge transaction fees, but let's talk about whether or not we do. I mean, Jen, how do you feel about this?
We have before. And so we did post this question on our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very you either do or you don't. It was so interesting because I wasn't sure. I really thought everybody would be like, no, blah, 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 because, they're always willing to go and paint the house or go and clean the house and do all this stuff that I was surprised that some people said they do.
Okay.
So we used to charge one. Here's why. We were a big team. We had 12 people. We had a lot of overhead and we have a lot of requirements, have to keep documents for a certain number of time, have to make sure all the documents, like everybody, right? But we had a lot of overhead. So we were charging $5.95 per file. We were also doing a lot of deals. So even if we only got 50 of those deals paid we could still pay somebody's salary almost,
Right.
So for us, that's why we did it. Cause we had too much overhead.
Why didn't you just charge a higher commission rate?
I don't know. We've tried to do that before too, but honestly, the fee went through easier.
So that's interesting. Cause to me, the answer is no, you shouldn't charge transaction fee.
You're wrong.
I'm just kidding. This is all part of, the expenses, cost of sale, whatever you want to call it for, yours. And if your expenses and cost of sale have gone up, then you need to start charging more. That's what I always thought. But
that's what it is.
Commission.
It's
But
additional commission.
But you're saying it's received differently from the seller or buyer?
It is received. Usually how they would do it, the title company would put it would be a separate check, but in the contract, it is called a transaction fee and additional commission. We charge $5.95.
Does it run through the broker?
Yes.
So it's subject to the commission split?
Wait. No, it was separate.
Interesting. So that might be a reason to do it outside of the commission.
It was like full 100% to us.
Interesting.
And I wonder if that changes per brokerage.
Yeah, good question. We'd love, if you are in a brokerage that does that, do you get to keep your transaction?
But see, for most of us, we were capped all the time. So we were achieving 100% of our commission. I'm just saying, like,
of course.
So like, but I believe that when we weren't capped, because it was like a separate check.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that was 100% to us, but I'm saying like, that doesn't actually make sense, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
So let me role play this. I'm going to be the seller.
Okay.
So Ms. Mertland, if I hear you correctly, you are charging me 6%, and that includes the co-op fee should the buyer, bring another agent. And additionally, your expenses aren't covered inside of that, which I've never heard of before. So you're charging me.
This is not what happened. That's not what happens.
What happens? What happens?
They just say, okay, like they don't ask.
Well, then I am going to start charging a transaction.
I'm just saying, try it. They rarely ask. Like, how often are you getting asked about commission?
I don't get asked very often. I mean, sometimes is it flexible? I'll get that every, is
okay,
it
you say no, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the amount of times you get asked about commission now is equivalent to the amount of times you will get asked about it when you add a fee.
Okay.
It just doesn't happen. People are used to paying fees.
I don't understand why we as an industry don't increase our commission. It's been the same for so long. We've never adjusted it. And now we're just trying to get sneaky ways of, earning more income.
I mean, it is and it isn't, right? Like, but if it is something that your brokerage allows to drop straight to your bottom line and you have high overhead, then it's a good way to do it, right? It's not sneaky, it's good business.
Well, maybe my commission is just 2% and my transaction fee is $4,500.
I think the perception of a transaction or document fee, like think about it. When you go to order tickets online, there's always a fee, always.
True.
So I think it depends on your average price point. It depends on where you're at. And most people don't ask. Now, the times that we didn't put it on there, it was like we had the buyer and the lender was like, this won't go through on the loan. They can't pay any commission.
Got it. So this is only to a seller.
Well, we got it through on some buyers too, just not all the time.
Okay.
It was a little harder on buyers.
Yeah.
Because they have to pay it.
Okay. Now, just out of curiosity, only because you said so, you stopped doing this. So why, if it's such a good idea, why did you stop?
Well, why did we stop? We don't have as much overhead anymore. We literally have like no overhead.
Smart.
So it's like, I don't know. We probably should. Let me talk to Alan.
I think you're talking me into it. I think this might be a Real Estate Fight Club first or second. I've actually changed my mind on this subject.
It's worth a try. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, they say no. And then you say, all right, you know what? As a favor, I am going to waive that for you. So it's like you're giving something to them that you really weren't really ever collecting in the first place.
Right. That's possible. Yeah.
I like this.
I think too, it's a lot easier I don't know, there's something about the market conditions too, right? So like if a lot of your competition is like they're buying the listings, they're reducing their commission, it may be easier to get through a fee than it would be a higher commission. So it's something to consider.
Very interesting. Yeah,
it depends.
if we're doing, 40 deals a year and let's say 30 of them are listings times
Right.
495, I mean, we're talking $14,850.
I know. What would you do with that money?
Well, what I would do with that is I would hire a coach. If I'm the listener here and you don't have a coach, I'd take that money and hire a coach.
Oh my God, you should have a coach.
Yes, for sure.
Get
For
one.
sure. Get one.
I've got 2.
There you go. All right.
All right, you ready to head back to your
Interesting.
corner?
Yeah, let me ponder for a minute.
I like it. All right, let's take a short break, hear a word from our partners, and when we come back, Monica will decide this is the right thing for her.
All right, welcome back. Let's get back inside. Oh, let me start over again. All right, welcome back. Let's get back to the battle inside the ring. Jen has beat me silly, and I think I've changed my mind because I came into this discussion like, no, it's a cop-out. You charge what you should charge for your commission, and you should be able to defend that and cover your expenses and your cost of sales and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm thinking, I think I'm missing the boat.
Do it.
Yeah, that's what I like about these discussions. And I hope other listeners are also, as they listen to our podcast, that you are open-minded to change your mind on things because you never know.
Well, it happens a lot on this. Well, sometimes it doesn't, but
Yeah, you're right. There are things we're just always going to disagree about.
exactly.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do on this. I'm going to experiment with this because that's what we do. We're going to experiment. We're going to experiment more than once. I'm not going to do it once. And if it fails, I'm going to say, oh, this sucks, because that's not really an experiment. Gotta be more than once, but I am going to give it a try because 15 grand a year, that's something.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money. It's a lot of money.
And I think like if the listeners have like need a mindset adjustment, they should like give us a call and let's talk about it. And figure out what is the right fee for you.
Yeah. What if you planned your family vacation around your transaction fees?
What if you told your child that if I can make X
Yes.
number of dollars, we'll go to Disney World?
Yes.
Guaranteed, every time you go on an appointment, they will ask you, did you put the money in
Yes.
for the, or whatever, right?
Did you get the Mickey Mouse money? Did you get it? Right?
Exactly.
That's good. All right. I think that's going to have to be the end of today's battle. If you enjoyed this episode, if you changed your mind like I did, if you have other ideas or thoughts to share with us, please go to our podcast page. That's Real Estate Fight Club Podcast, and let us know. We love hearing from you.
Oh, yeah. And if you are interested in joining us at EXP or learning more about it, call us at 513-400-1691. Thanks, Monica.
Thanks, Mert. See you next time.
Bye.